What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Thought I'd go over that Eldlich deck profile, and I also have just a few replays at the end just for funsies. We'll just go right through it. I do run 2 Eldlich. I've always been happy with this ratio, and I'm just really happy that this small little engine is so affordable now. And technically, you can say the same thing about the Dogmatika package. It's about $100, which it's a hobby. I've talked about this before. I don't think every card should be dirt cheap. The collectible cards obviously are always going to be expensive. But the competitive cards, like anybody should be willing to spend $200, on a core set of Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever it is, for like good engines. And I think they've made that possible. Now, still really big problems with Pot of Disparity and Forbidden Droplets. I think this card's 160. I think this card's 140. Forbidden Droplets is getting a reprint in December, which I guess is like in 6 days. There's been a lot of sets that have been coming out recently. So hopefully this card becomes more affordable. They got a lot of work to do with Pot of Disparity. If it goes into the $20 range, especially Forbidden Droplets too, I think you'd be really happy. Anybody would be really happy with that. I would be. But yeah, we'll go right back into the deck profile. The Dogmatika package I have here is just 1 Flare, 1 Maximus, and 3 Ecclesia, of course. I do run one of my favorite tech cards right now, Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. This card is very, very high impact. It's not going to play into Crossout Designator, which a lot of decks are. And I run Infinite Impermanence, although truthfully, this could probably just be Dark Ruler no more, really. But it does play around triple tactical talent, so it's much better than Ash in my opinion. This card's just, it can also get you out of a few sticky situations when it comes to, setting it at some point to help you win some duels. I don't know. I'm back and forth on that one. But Winter Cherries, nah, this card's amazing. 3 Disciple, or Nadir Servant, excuse me. The 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. A lot of people seem to make this Cosmic Cyclone against Mystic Mind burn decks, because I'm pretty sure the Field Barrier spell only protects it from destruction, and Cosmic Cyclone banishes. This is a little more high impact to me. I feel like it's just a little bit better. I like to play it, at 1. Obviously, can't play it at more, but yeah. 3 Pot of Prosperity and the 3 Forbidden Droplets, like I was just talking about. 3 Super Polymerization, card that cannot be negated, of course, which is very nice. The 3 Cursed Eldlin, the 3 Scarlet Sanguine, 1 Hakero, 2 Conquistador, 1 Golden Land Forever. This is my small little Eldlich engine. It's definitely not huge, but it gets the job done. It all, builds upon itself, of course. So I've always been happy with these ratios whenever I use Eldlich as an engine. Dogmatika Punishment. This card's very good. This card's just amazing because you're really not going into the extra deck at all. Super Polymerization, maybe, but I mean, you're going to be activating this first, more than likely. Like if you activated Dogmatika Punishment and then you top deck Super Polymerization during your next turn, it's like, well, sometimes stuff like that just happens. But otherwise, I haven't had any issues. 3 Infinite Permanence, and then the 3 Summon Limit. I think this is one of the best cards of the format right now when it comes to stun, and that's why I use it. Good cards, Who doesn't like to use them? Especially for a deck that can. You'll never have to summon like 2 times in a turn. Because you're either special summoning during your opponent's turn, you're doing a lot of that, or you just need 1 more summon during your turn, 2 max, to end it. Super Poly targets are Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, my Dragon of the Swamp, and the Diplexer Chimera. This plays well against Solomon Greats, of course, and also Adagnister. I know you could play Violet Chimera, I think it's called, which is the Solomon Great Fusion monster, which is like a little better. But at the same time, I feel like this is a little more ubiquitously good. Destroyer Phoenix isn't really a Super Poly target. It could be, right? It definitely could be. But mostly, it's used as a Winter Cherries, discard or banish, whatever you want to call it. Eldlich the Mad Golden Lord. So you'll see, if you watch the gameplay video, you saw me use it and, fusion summon into this card. It just doesn't do anything. You don't need it. It's a decent Super Poly target against, zombies specifically, and being that it's so popular, kept it in. What you could do is take this out and add another Elder. Like, that would certainly be useful. But I keep it in. I think it's okay. Titanclad, thank goodness it's got a reprint as well. This is so good. Especially if you can send it at the end phase during your opponent's turn to special summon Ecclesia. You just get so much card advantage off of it, of course. And then, my Maximus targets here, 2 Elder and 2 Wind Pegasus. And then my Winter Cherries targets here is going to be Chaotic Ruler, or Chaotic Magical Dragon. You saw how high impact this was against Dragon Link. Chi Xiao. Can't believe they like actually named it that. It's like impossible to say, but this card searches the trap that pops. This, I think, is what they always go into first. Now, this could be a fleur, but I'm one Omni Negate I'm much less worried about than 2 pops, because I'm not running a ton of spell and trap removal, right? I have this, and I have this. Well, I'm like, I don't have any, and I just went over like 5 of them. No, typically, you'd rather not deal with that card, and certainly it impedes your opponent quite a bit, so this is my favorite target with Winter Cherries. Macabre is very good. Also, it's part of the Christmas package, I think they call it, in case your opponent's also playing Maximus, which is really nice. I would highly recommend playing that. It's because you have so much room in the extra deck, right? Why not? And then I do run 1 Meow Mew just because of how, like, wow, you're playing Prank Kids, they normal summon whatever Prank Kids monster, and you activate this card. Hopefully you open up Polymerization or you're passing Churn, right? And cards like Ash and Infinite just don't impact this deck as much as they do nearly anyone else. Like, it's like, okay, you're going to Ash this. All right, well, I'll just activate Nadir Servant. I'll activate Cursed Eldlin. Whatever the case may be. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a cool thing about this deck, that you're running really high impact stuff, and then the normal impact stuff that people are playing doesn't really hurt you too badly. Onto the side, it's pretty standard. 3 Nibiru, 3 Lancia, 3 Joel and Lockbird. Really, I think instead of Artifact Lancia, maybe you could do Evenly Match. I think that's also a pretty decent target. 3 Lightning Storm and the 3 Dark Ruler no more. Of course, this is pretty, like, I think everybody plays this card because it's just like you have to sometimes for today's meta. Okay, we'll go into the gameplay videos. This first one will be against Sword Soul. Looks like I get to go first here. This is a match. Okay, well, normal summon this. He doesn't have any hand traps, luckily for me. And Forbidden Droplets, Cursed Eldlin, and Super Poly. I will most likely grab Cursed Eldlin because I already do have the Scarlet Sanguine. I do have the Conquistador. And then, yeah, the summon limit's just going to be... It's just going to be so killer, right? I've just stopped him from activating Fusion Destiny straight up. He's done summoning for the turn. He's going to get over the Ecclesia. That's quite okay. He's going to try to pop the summon limit. I will use my Omni Negate, of course. I literally just talked about not playing into Crossout Designator, and there we go. Like, that's why I do it, because if this card's dead, it's just like, it's so dreadful. Like, I've used Crossout Designator, and I've just had it sitting in my hand. It's like, wow, like, this card actually doesn't do anything. Luckily I didn't have the infinite impermanence, but okay. Alright, so, alright, Conquistador. I don't know why he doesn't activate Fusion Destiny, to be honest with you. It's kind of, that's a pretty interesting choice, because now the duel's over. Maybe he's thinking, like, I can last 1 more turn. I talked about this interaction, setting that at the end phase, because now it's over. That would be way more than enough for lethal. And this is the second duel. I'm going to be going second this time. It doesn't get much better than this, obviously. Dark Ruler is going to take care of his Omni Negates, the Fleur, and also the Monster Negate, which is pretty cool. And you'll see here, this is why I have the Cherries, because if he wasn't able to do this, like, he'd be hurting pretty bad. He's got Infinite Permanence. He's got the Sword Soul Blackout. We'll get rid of these. I'm going to get rid of one of the back rows, Infinite Permanence, activate Nadir Servant, pop the back row. I mean, that's just like complete dismantling of a board. Which was a pretty good one. I mean, in terms of Sword Soul, he doesn't run any cool packages for any reason. I can also... this card is way more high impact than Dogmatika Punishment, and I had to get rid of this Synchro, right? He ended up activating the trap from the graveyard. I don't know why he did that, but... Okay, so I have an extra deck negate, which is very good, and also summon limit, so... the decisions I made at the end of that turn definitely are much better. Okay, so yeah, that's literally it. So we'll go ahead and look at Speedroids. I feel like I just made a weird sound, I think. Okay, the Dear Servant. Here we go. Now I'm activating it correctly. So whenever you're going turn 0, send the Christmas package, or because you don't know what you're playing, right? You still don't have a chance for Winter Cherries. I don't know, actually. Maybe you want to go, like, you just don't want to send a Wind Pegasus or an Elder, right? Like, you want to be able to use those effects. Sometimes I send the Wind Pegasus, and I think I do in one of these replays, But it's a waste because you're going to banish it. Like, why not have 2 copies of those and just send something to the graveyard that you don't need? I think I had double Imperm here, which is pretty good, of course. I've played Speedroids before, so I like really know the chuck points of this deck. Cursed Eldlin can come down. Dark, like these cards just don't do anything against this deck. You're not activating, you know, monster effects during your opponent's turn or nothing like that. I ended up beating him in the match, but the replay got corrupted. It wasn't anything too crazy. Here's Marincess. Apparently, I opened up double infinite permanents for all my duels. Okay. Doesn't ash the Cursed Eldlin. Very bold. Doesn't ash the Pot of Disparity either. I'm going to go ahead and grab Ecclesia. I'm going to normal summon. He's going to activate there. So, pretty patient dude. I got to give that to him for sure. But yeah, like this is pretty nice. This is more than likely going to get me through my turn. Now, if you had a Harpy's Feather Duster, yeah, you cry about it a little bit for sure. Like, it's definitely a horrible situation, but you'll get through. Okay, so he did have the extender there, but I actually don't even need to use the infinite impermanence. So, like, this card doesn't do anything. As long as you can stop them from getting to their field spell, like, that's the powerhouse card of the deck. And this can't be destroyed by battle from extra deck monsters, the Ecclesia, of course. Alright, he's going to Ash again, so he had double Ash. Oh, it's so frustrating. But I had double Pot of Disparity, too. I could have grabbed Summon Limit. That may have been the better decision. I'm not sure. Anyways, we'll go for Maximus here. Maximus effect. I will send the Titanclad and Wind Pegasus because he had no cards on the field. That's why I like Wind Pegasus so much. Yeah, because I used to have the Elder at 3 and the Wind Pegasus at 1, but Wind Pegasus is insane. Being able to shuffle cards back is just so good. It does target, but there's so, like, here, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so complicated, right? There's so many cards on the field. Like, being able to shuffle something at any point, when your opponent really can't play around it, like, they gotta get over your board at some point, right? By either battle or card effects. Like, that's just insane. And there's a couple duels against Gizmek, because when will I ever be able to show someone playing a Gizmek deck? Disciple. As you can imagine, this card is pretty high impact in terms of the advantage it gives you. I'm gonna send a couple cards there. He's gonna have to start wasting cards, which is great. Like, you know, if you're every once in a while your opponent plays a Nova package or whatever, and you're like, what are you gonna do? But otherwise, like, your opponent's got to make some really tough choices to send some cards to the graveyard. I have to get rid of the Eater Millions. Like, that's pretty important. These cards do a whole lot of stuff, but I don't feel like they do anything, like, at all. It's like, where are you going with this? You just have a bunch of random monsters with, like, decent stat lines on the board. Okay, I'll get rid of a couple of these, and when Pegasus is going to shuffle that back because it had a graveyard effect, that's why I did that. And this is like a big body, too. 3,000 is no joke. I'm going to send another Elder. I'm going to send another. I'm just going to start sending, like, cards that I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'm not going to be going into that now. The Conquistador and the Forbidden Droplets. I have 2 negates, really, because Elder, or Eldlich in the graveyard's, like, you know, pretty decent, of course. Like, it's not bad. But I only needed to negate 1 effect, I suppose, here. He does go into the Topologic Zeraboros. I do have the negate for it. I'm going to have to get rid of it next turn somehow, but otherwise, I mean, I'm pretty sure I just lose there. I'm going to put these in defense position, too. He's going to be able to get over the Fleur. But I think I have a... Do I have another Elder? No, so I gotta find a creative way to get out of this here. I'm gonna take some burn damage, I guess, every time I special, so I'm gonna take a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to play a little bit of defense. He goes for a Lava Golem, but I don't know, man. I don't, like, was it so bad that you had to get rid of those cards? We'll see. But I'm just gonna be able to get rid of this pretty easily. Conquistador. I was just going to pop this. I could also send it with the other Eldlich, but that's okay. I am a sitting duck, but considering he only has this many cards, like, you know, I can't imagine this. He's going to be able to do too many things. He has no cards in his extra deck, 9 cards. He's going to be able to get over the Eldlich, but I think this is like a momentary, you know, attack boost. I'm going to go ahead and tribute the Conquistador. He's going to negate, like, the last card in hand is Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, of course. I need to play a little bit of defense here with the Winter Cherries. I'm going to go for the battle phase. Get over it. I'll go ahead and activate Scarlet. Can't get over these. It's got a big 2,800 attack body. I think I end up making a mistake here, like a pretty bad one, too. I don't remember what it was, though. Like, I let him shuffle a bunch of cards back into his deck, which is... Just don't give your opponent advantage. Like, yeah, like, I shouldn't have attacked this one, because he's going to shuffle all these back, and not that it's, like, a big deal. He shuffled back the Topologic Ouroboros, too. That's pretty cool. I'm fine, ultimately, but that... I should have assembled, like, a lethal amount of damage first before I did any of that, to make sure that he didn't have any plays at all. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and send it off the board. That way I can just special summon this big body back. That's 2,000. That's not enough either. So we're still waiting here. But I have the golden land forever now. So, like, that's probably going to work out, I knew he had stacked this on top. I don't have any monsters in the extra monster zone, of course. This card just... It was so good when it was announced because of the master rule, but now it's just kind of useless, right? I say another great opening, but it's like, they're kind of all good. And this is where I make that mistake. I shouldn't have sent the Wind Pegasus. That's just kind of stupid. Although, in this case, I searched out the trap, so I really did kind of make a decent play at it. So you can do it either. You can do either or. He does have the Lava Golem, but I don't have 2 monsters on the board. Okay, so he's going to add that to the hand. That's going to be almost destroyed, although he's not going to be able to get over this Ecclesia. I'm going to go ahead and pop that, although I think I probably could have let that get destroyed, to be honest with you. I probably should have sent, like, Titan Clad or something like that. Alright, here comes the Conch, another Nadir Servant. That's just a good top deck, of course. Like, now that's a good top deck. They already have one and get another. And then the Maximus can send a couple. I will send Titanclad and Attic Nister. I will attack directly. Got a pop, got an Omnigate, got the Flirt negate too, which is really sick. Normal summoning the Ferocious Fanged Fortress. That's a cool name. These cards look cool, but yeah, I don't know. This is just not impressive, I guess. That's gonna gain nothing, I suppose. I felt like I was supposed to gain attack, but it didn't. But that's alright. I can still send a bunch of cards to the graveyard. I still have, the Fleur, all that good stuff. So we'll go into Galaxy Eyes. This is the last duel. Meta-defining Galaxy Eyes. I just actually wanted to show this because I did have the Winter Cherries, and obviously he's playing, Galaxy Soldier. He's gonna have Nova. How mad would you be, like, if you were playing, if you were this guy? I would be so pissed. Just like, these guys A, playing Winter Cherries, and B, playing Nova. Like, that's so random. But yeah, I mean, there we go. He did hard open the trap, so he's gonna have an Omnigate from his hand, which shuffles back. We'll see where he decides to use it. I have 2 Nadir Servant too. It's like, that's pretty nice, because I can just activate it again, because it's activate once per turn. This is just terrible. Okay, there's the Ecclesia. There goes the Maximus. Maximus can send a couple cards. I will go ahead and Flirt negate there, so he's just lost all advantage. Although all he had to do is he didn't have to send both cards. He could have just sent the Galaxy S Photon Dragon. I don't know if he knew that. And there we go. He top decks the trap, which isn't going to do anything. And I just kind of won that duel. But I wanted to show that because how funny the Nova thing was. But yeah, that is the deck profile. A little bit of gameplay. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. And I will see you guys next time.